If you love Paul Harvey stories and the rest of the story, subscribe now. Now the rest of the story. Nobody liked Freddie. At least it certainly seemed that way. His own father detested him, as did his sister Amelia. His mother said she wished 100 times a day that he were dead. In fact, Freddie's mother once called him the greatest beast in the whole world. Nobody liked Freddie, nobody who really knew him. His home was the very old England of nearly 300 years ago. Freddie was good at merriment. He lived lavishly and paid for it with an allowance from his father. That allowance was enormous, £50,000 a year, an enormous amount of money for early 18th century standards. Still, Freddie protested that it was not enough for his purposes, meaning his party's. So he got an idea. He would marry a rich girl. Well, Freddie's father must have laughed. He remembered how his son's earlier engagement had ended in disaster. The scandal the family had yet to live down. So what wealthy woman in her right mind could possibly fall for Freddie? Ooh, he should not have asked that question. You see, the bold young Freddie asked for an audience with the elderly Duchess of Marlborough, and he really charmed the old lady, presented himself as a dashing gentleman with excellent prospects, and then he asked for the hand of the Duchess's favorite granddaughter. Now Freddie could really pour on the charm when he wanted to. Now more than ever he wanted to, and he succeeded. He beguiled the elderly Duchess into believing his motives were entirely romantic, and she granted her permission. The newly approved couple would be married at the earliest convenience. One other detail. According to custom, the groom should receive a substantial dowry from a young lady as high-born as the Duchess of Marlborough's granddaughter. And the Duchess agreed. The dowry was set at £100,000. So Freddie's financial worries were over. Oh, one thing more. Freddie said that a small wedding would be nice, that a private wedding would be better. Best of all, of course, he said, would be a secret wedding. And do you believe it? The Duchess agreed even to that. The secret wedding ceremony would be held at her lodge in Windsor Great Park in secrecy. Freddie's reasoning, of course, was that if his family or his family's friends were to discover what he was up to, they would surely try to stop him. Well, they did, and they did. The marriage of Freddie and the Duchess's granddaughter was not to be, and so the high-born young lady was spared for better things. She would marry another and become the Duchess of Bedford. And that's the way it happened. The first time, you see, Freddie was Frederick Louis, the Prince of Wales, the heir to the throne of England some 300 years ago, the favorite granddaughter of the Duchess of Marlborough. The beautiful young girl Frederick tried to marry for her money. The fiancée who got away was Lady Diana Spencer. That's right, the First Lady Di. It was often said how lucky she was. Well, that is so. Only, of course, now you know the rest of the story.